So as anybody who write code could tell you, code refactoring is more of a judgment call. It's, more art than science. So in this case, I'm going to show you what I think makes sense, and doesn't mean it's the right answer. It doesn't mean it's the only answer. It only means what I think at this point in time would be the good answer, right? So what I want to do first is I want to go ahead and functionalize the netmiko commands. So what does that mean? So essentially what I'm doing is in this step, I am going to use the def keyword, and I'm going to call this function run command. And in this function, it's going to take one argument, which is the command itself, and it's going to do what we've done before. Basically call the netmiko send command and then passed out this command that we grab into this location. And we're going to return that result to whoever was calling that function. And the way to use this is you could see that from line 28 that I am just, do the show IP route. And what this does is that, in the future, if I wanted to swap out netmiko, for some reason in the future, I don't like netmiko, I want to use napalm, I could do that without impacting the person who's calling this command. Right? I mean, granted that, I don't have to do further parsing because the return result might be different, but essentially, that's what it does. Maybe there's a netmiko version 2. The return would be the same, but the somehow the execution would be different. So that's what it does. It's able to, hide that portion of it from me or from my coworker later on. So let's use an interactive shell to test that, right? So if you were to look at that code and say, I wonder how that works. I want to isolate that function and test out that function. How do I do that? So let me go ahead and pull out that portion. And let's use the interactive prompt to test out that function. So I fired up Python, and let's look at this line by line, right? So I still need this portion to import the Nornir, and I still need the netmiko plugin for that function. I don't need the print result, I don't need OS, I don't need the Twilio, and I don't need anything that's related to sending out the alert. And I could initialize Nornir because I still have the host file, the inventory within my directory. And I could go ahead and just type out this function, right? Remember the spacing is really important. And I'm going to return that result. I'm just going to type it in. Return result. Awesome. So now I have this function. Let's test out calling this function, right? So I don't need to capture the output at this time, but I just do show IP route, and hopefully it's going to go out and give me the output for show IP route, right? So yeah, so we get the aggregated results. And remember, now that we functionalize it, we could run any arbitrary command. So what if it's not show IP route? What if it's show IP BGP summary? And now that we got that result back, what if it's a show run or whatnot, right? And we saw that we can actually parse out this aggregated results. How do we import the print that was optimized for printing out the netmiko output? Okay, cool. So that's the first step, that we functionalize the first part. And in the next step, we're going to functionalize the second part.